Actually wasn't planning on really making videos or playing even today. Today wasn't the worst day. Wait. Today's 24th. Yes. Wow, I played a lot of games today actually. So god damn. Yeah, I started off pretty bad. But these were all the games. From here all the way to here were all the games I played. Was not a really good day. You can probably try and count like the win loss ratio, um, but did not make very accurate moves. Could have played a lot more sound, and all in all, which is kind of my point for this one. And these three games, I'm gonna do these. Uh, I could do this one. I'll resign here. It was a pretty instructive game. I might review that one. I don't know, but um, I wanted to quickly like check in with myself. So forgot how to do that. Yeah, go here. Wanted to quickly like check in with myself and see. So recently, I actually haven't been doing that bad. Um, all things considered, uh, especially in chess, this is a very hard game. You're not going if you can have a win loss ratio that's positive, you're doing something right. And I've gained 100 rating points in the last month, which is could be better. Um, could absolutely be better. However, I wanted to go through these three games because these were all pretty much won in the end game. Well, actually, let's review this one real quick because I did lose. I lost this one. Uh, or did I? Yes, I lost this one because I hung maiden one. So we'll show you the maiden one. So I'm completely winning, completely winning. Here, I blundered maiden one because I think I did something idiotic. I just pushed the pawn, which is purely idiotic. I should have went here. Wait, after takes, I think I should have went here. Yes, this is completely winning because the idea is there is no checkmate in right now. Um, by the way, the mate is right. Oh, this is mate two. This is main two. Well, he actually did find it. So main two, this is the first check. Believe, yes. There's actually no stopping this. This is a simple like ladder technique. And I take and I lose. Completely blundered the idea. But I should have went here to kick the queen out somewhere or trade queens, which is a completely winning end game because I'm already getting pressure right here. Uh, and, over here. Jeez, I can't draw arrows. Cannot draw arrows. But get it. Pressure right here and right here. And I control this file. So I keep the king over here and try to push these pawns. But I was not really into it today fully. But it's life, so it happens. But to look at these three games, because these were very instructive, to say the least. Let me get to the beginning. And here, London. At this level, you don't want to switch up your openings too much because, it's life. We do better with continuity. Um, so standard stuff. You've seen me play some similar stuff like this. I've been liking playing C3 before I get my knight out, and instead of like developing two C3, whoops, two C3, I developed this way. You could also develop here, but it's apples to oranges. Uh, and yeah, it's pretty closed right now, but he plays this move. And another thing I've been trying to do is play H3. And what H3 does, say we play H3 here. So once they play, because I get this a lot, once they play G5, you can just slide your bishop back and you're still controlling the fuck out of this diagonal. So if any move like this, your bishop is still there. You don't have to take with the bishop, obviously, but because you got a pawn. But point being, diagonal that the diagonal is pretty strong, and it's actually completely winning. Like you see, it's completely winning for white. But I missed it. He plays this, and so I have to like kind of reroute my bishop. Here, um, forgot what I played. I think I plopped my knight in the center, which is actually a winning tactic. And the idea, anytime you get um to this position and the e5 square is open, you can like try to take space with the pawn, but it's always better because you're 9 times out of 10 in your games, especially with white, you're gonna have a knight here. It's always better to just take the space and close down black's movement because the knight controls so many squares in the position. Not like that. So many squares that it's not much these opponents could do. So we trade in the center. Now I have the open file, so of course I play rook e1, rook e1, rook b1. Some may not know. And then yeah, queen was hanging. And and luckily for me, he didn't fully hunt with the bishop because I didn't play h3 this game. I think in another game you'll see I do play h3, and I can just plot my bishop on the h2 square and we're fine. But I think um, I wasn't in my shit this game either, for real. Could have definitely played a lot better. But he hangs his queen. And once there's a hung queen and he has to, it's hung to the point where he has to take with the king. Listen, guys, it is a completely winning game. Just pick up the pawns, consolidate, try not to hang any pieces that wasn't hung. The queen defended it. And, it's a simple endgame to convert. He goes there, wasn't really attacking nothing. I actually hung his rook. This guy actually hung his pieces all over the place. Um, he didn't even have to take this knight because he loses this bishop too. That was probably one of the more powerful pieces in the. Look at this diagonal that it controls, and I am on the dark squares, so it can't patrol as strongly. But this light square bishop is not really the strongest for his position, considering. So yeah, he tries chasing me around, not realizing his knight got blundered. Um, and you see, the reason it's like a blunder. Oh wow, I did not peep that. I did not peep that. Actually, this is crazy. Maybe this game wasn't that bad. Um, but it's life, so we can't always know what the engine wants of us. So whatever. Um, here, I just take space, and you see the light square complex is starting to come alive for me. So now this bishop is almost shut out the game. Almost shut out the game. So I play here. The idea was to try to win the rook. He doesn't let me. There's actually, well, I think M is going to stay on the evaluation for the most part. He tries to get my queen off the board, which honestly, he's down a rook. So for future reference, you could trade and be up 2 rooks. And a rooks versus bishop, especially with this kind of complex and moves like this and this and this coming, is just going to shut the light squared bishop out the game, and your rooks already have at least one open file. So you could even play rook here, play here. You can get ready for a rook lift, you know, stuff, scary stuff, right? Um, and he tries to create some counterplay with rook g, well not rook, sorry, with bishop f3, and the idea is that he's gonna uh, it's really not much of an idea, um, other than controlling this right here, so I can't get my rook on the open file. So, but I just kick the bishop out, and now I just take control of this file because you know an open file is like oxygen to a rook, but a pass pawn in a in front of a pawn that's pinned to a king is also like it's like I wouldn't say oxygen, but it's more like some good za kind of, you know. You kind of can enjoy it at least. So here, yes, I trade off because again we gotta remember we have a queen on the board. A queen is actually it's worth 7 points, and a rook is worth 5, but it's more about 10 ish because it's just better than two rooks. It just is, and he blunders this pawn, so I actually could have just took and went to an end game with up a rook because this is complete losing for white. I mean for black because now this happens and I will just push this pawn. And there's absolutely nothing he can do. You see? There's nothing he can do about it. He literally can I mean he can sit on the back rank and wait for a death, pretty much. That's like his only option. But I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna eat. So that's what I did. I ate, and main two here is actually a very interesting pattern. I think the idea is here, yes. I think this is the only legal move. And trying to remember, is it just straight up? No, it's not this. I can't remember exactly what the mate was. It might have just, I think it was just, nope, it's not because pawn will take you and he's surviving somehow. It's not this. Yeah, oh no, it is. It is. It is. I don't even know why I second guess myself, but it's life. So, anyways, he resigns after. Oh, no, no, no. He resigns after this. It's not mate in two yet because I didn't play b4, which is instructive. You can't mate in this position with your rook without playing b4. Well, what do you know? So, anywho, next game. Um, this one also lasted pretty long. This the one I was yeah. But he resigns this one too. And again, we get to a London. Uh, instead of trying to keep the position closed, however, he strikes in the center. And this is actually fine, somewhat. But if it's not fine if you're just going to trade all of the like just trade off. And also it kind of just blunders a pawn and he realizes it. So now he's down a pawn. Because you can't take, because then you will be down a piece. Well, you'll still be down a pawn, and you will have one less piece on the board. So he goes here, trying to create some kind of counterplay. But the thing is, my knight was also defending that square, meaning I didn't even have to, and the bishop too, which is just kind of hilarious. So he just kind of plays the complete moronic gambit, and actually taking with the knight is worse. You're better off taking with the pawn, which makes complete sense. Um, and here is just simply converting. You know, a lot of these games comes down to converting. And you see, I do play h3 here, just in case. But, h3 actually isn't as strong because he has no f pawn to like back up this g pawn. So h3 probably wasn't needed here. Um, and here he gives up another pawn. Um, and I guess this was like his sort of version of counterplay. And yes, he did just hang that rook in the corner. You know, a lot of times in these games, you will get what I like to call a reverse Roculus Oculus. So they'll push a pawn, not realizing what the bishop is seeing. So the bishop was always watching this pawn. But the problem was the bishop was protecting it. But the pawn was also pinned to the rook. And it was not being protected by anything because there's nothing on the back rank other than this rook that's guarding the back rank. I mean, the king, but he only guards one square. He only guards the squares next to him. So by pushing the pawn, he literally just hangs the rook. And funnily enough, I was too quick to castle, so I actually didn't see it. So like, what I was like, okay, I'm taking. He's probably gonna play some like whatever move, like knight here, trying to attack the bishop, whatever, it's defended, so I'm not really worried. Uh, which, no, it's actually not. It's not winning, if you ask the engine. So, and the engine knows better than me, so let's not argue with that. But instead, oh, sorry. Instead, he plays g5, hanging the rook. I didn't see it until the next move, and he clearly didn't see it at all either. Now he's just down a rook. This is also just an easy endgame to convert. And you see, this is an instructive moment. If you don't really know what to do when you're up a rook, especially considering he hung the rook that was in the corner. Like he hung the rook that didn't even move. Didn't move. Don't ask any questions at all. Just try to trade the queens off the board so you will never get mated. And here, I honestly don't know why I didn't do that. So don't ask me. But luckily, he was already down to trade off more pieces, which is fine with me. And yeah, and that's exactly what I did. I trade off. Oh, finally, we trade the queens. I guess I wanted to bully a little bit more. But yeah, we trade off now. And honestly, should have probably just snapped off the bishop as well to just like fully end the game, because this bishop kind of does some things. And here, well, actually, I did end up trading off this, but not really, because I hung my rook somewhat, but I'm also still up a whole piece now. So, and luckily for me, he hangs his knight right back. So now I'm up two pieces. But I give him a check first so I can win the pawn too. And this is just a simple endgame to convert. Again, push this pawn. He tries to create some counterplay on the other side because his king is over here, which is basic endgame strategy. But it's just no stopping this pawn, literally. But he tries to because he leaves his rooks on the back rank. But now I'm up a rook, and I have 3 pawns. So literally 0. It's literally a 3-on-0. This is just game. I'm just going to push, and he resigns after I queen. So, not much to that game. But you see how powerful looking for checks kind of becomes. And this game was also a good example of such a thing. It wants me to like review, but I'm not doing all of that. So, yeah, do I have to have all this on here? Whatever. So, but you'll see. Actually, can I? Yeah, turn this off. Um, again, played by London. This again loses a pawn. You'll get this kind of thing. I wanted to be a little frisky and take with the knight to keep my bishop. Oh, and you see, look how quickly I play h3, guys. I'm learning. I'm learning. H3 was played on move 6. I don't know. You might have to go back and see when H3 was played last time, but yeah, I'm learning. So now he's down a piece because he wanted to trade everything in the center. Completely did, absolutely did, and this is a problem that I'm actually starting to have more often than not now. Is completely hanging pieces. This is like completely winning for white, but instead I was so eager to just get my king out of the center, which is understandable in chess. I completely, yeah. Look, even it's giving me double question marks because this is just a free bishop. It just is, and I think he takes. Yeah, he does take. So now I have to consolidate in a completely equal position, which in chess is actually one of the hardest things to do as white. It just is because you actually have to take advantage of this structure you created. But look, my pawns are not really taking. They're taking space in the center, and he has no development honestly, but neither do I. So it's gonna be hard. I gotta play tactical. Uh, and here he's trying to set up some ideas with this and this. But you see the bishop is too passive, so it doesn't really work. But he tries to activate it, and I then think yes, this was actually a pretty good move. It gives me the exclamation mark. It's not brilliant. I wish I got the double, but I couldn't get the double. Now this is completely losing for him because trading queens in this position is not it. Because you just lost the bishop. See, so he wandered in with this bishop to take this pawn, and instead of deciding, hey, we're gonna take it immediately, you develop putting pressure on two pieces. One of them are already not defended, and it it allows now, which I mean you can't fully account for a move like this, but now in a position of trading the queens, he just loses the bishop, and now I'm up a piece, and now this is completely winning. So kind of get some equity there for my blunder on e5. Um, so here, I mean, yeah, this the only sort of counterplay he has is pawn play, and he attacks my bishop. And another benefit of the move h3, you see, not only can the dark squared bishop hide on that, but the light squared bishop can also hide there. So now you have this nice little three-way connection with those three pieces, and they sit there. So this was very inaccurate because knight a5 and that dog is just whining. My goodness. Huh? Oh, now it's barking. Excuse me. But yeah, this was completely inaccurate because you have to realize what squares get weaker, and this was always available. But because instead of playing b6, he plays b5. Now knight a5 is just game over because threatening to win this pawn, and it's not even just winning this pawn and attacking his rook. It's cool and all, but you can't stop me from winning this pawn with a check, a double check, might I add, because the rook is laser beaming. Remember the Roculus Oculus? And yep, from this position he just resigns because again the winning tactic is not to even check here. You see, this is all the actually I think it's just losing because oh well. Oh, you can't take with the knight. For whatever reason, you can't take with the knight. I don't know why. You would think, given the. Oh well, this saying just take with the king, I guess, which is fair. Um, but losing a rook is one thing, but it just doesn't win. This is the winning idea because not only does it ask the rook the question for a second time, you're now just up 3 pawns. Or is that four? Let me count. Nope, it's three. Yeah, I can count correctly when I'm on my A game. So yeah, this was this is a pretty good game, and this is why you should always look for checks because this this is the not stuff where you just checkmate and all of that. I actually did post on my Insta about a checkmate. This was always just a scary thing too. So, um, but it's the idea of okay, you're restricting the king's movement. King can only really go like here or like run forward, which is pretty bad. But usually, 9 times out of 10, there's easy follow up moves. And this is just a simple follow up move that, you know, will either deflect from this, and now you can't take because you're under check, or he will play back, and I still will probably just take this knight because I am up a piece, so I'm willing to trade off pieces. And all in all, like, I don't know. I mean, seriously, it's not much else to say. Your boy's trying to hit 400 though. He was there for a little bit, but I guess really could take my own advice. Now get out of here.